Hello everybody, I'm Iain, and in this video I want to talk to you about criticising karate, because I believe if we don't criticise it, we're not serving it. If you love karate, you've got to be prepared to criticise it. Now I say this as someone who, I started karate as a child. From the moment I did it, I thought this is my thing, this is what I want to spend my time doing, I love it. Did it throughout my teenage years, I trained like a crazy person, I read everything I could find on karate, and that never stopped through my adulthood. I'm now a middle-aged man and I'm just as enthusiastic about as karate as I ever was. I'm lucky enough to have it as my profession, and the reason I made it my profession is because there's nothing I enjoy more, than karate, than practicing it, discussing it, learning about it. I love it. When I criticise it, I'm not having a go at it because I love it. I really, really do love it. But the core point would be we don't serve it unless we're prepared to criticise it. Nothing should be unassailable. Nothing should be uncriticisable. And why I decided to make this video was I recently did one called What is 3K Karate, where I criticised the practice, which is fairly common, of people practicing kata to get good at kata, basics to get good at basics, and the sparring is neither self-defense based nor has it got any connection to the kata. And I believe you can make a strong case to say that's neither a traditional way of practicing, historically a correct way of practicing, nor is it a functional way of practice. So I made the debate. Now, a lot of people out there went, yeah, I agree with you there, Iain. I've seen that and I've seen that too. So I've got a good, strong bit of support. But there was a significant minority who went, no, they just went off on one. They were very, very unhappy. Lots of how dare you emails and such things, who are you to criticise the past masters and yada, yada, yada. But the point would be is we should all do it. We should all do it. All of the old masters, every single one of them, when they got taught what they got taught, they were very grateful for having taught it. They obviously made it their thing. All the old masters dedicated their lives to this karate, and not a single one of them passed it on as they were taught. But that's not an insult to their teachers. They're fulfilling what their teachers wanted them to do. As Funakoshi said, he said, times change, the world's change, and martial arts must change too. If you read Funakoshi's books, he's very clear that the karate that he created and passed on, he knows it's not forever. It's like, okay, this is what I believe is the best way we can be doing it now. And then the next generation says, great, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Thanks for all the great information you've got. We're going to do our best to run with it and make it better still. That's what the old masters wanted us to do. They didn't want us to worship them as unassailable demigods who could never be questioned, because they didn't do that themselves. As I say, they questioned their own teachers and saw if they could improve upon it. I think a good analogy for this is science, right? So if you look at, say Isaac Newton, if you would ask any modern physicist, what do you think of Isaac Newton? They'd go, the man's a genius. He did so much for modern physics. They admire what he did. They admire what the foundation that he laid. But they'll all acknowledge he was wrong on certain things. Same with Einstein. Einstein looked back at Newton and go, you've got certain things wrong. And Einstein comes up with his next step. But again, he's not sitting there saying, well, now I've got it right. How dare anyone question me? The part of the scientific process that ensures it continues to evolve and improve, the very process that's allowing you to watch this now is because people criticise things. No one went, oh, smoke signals will do. They all went, we can probably improve on this. Every generation tries to improve on what they did before. And scientists don't look at scientists from previous generations and say that they've got things wrong or that they're at fault. They acknowledge the great contribution they made. The phrase is often used, if I can see so far, it is because I am a dwarf standing on the shoulders of giants. The past masters did a wonderful thing. They created an amazing art. I'm forever in the debt for creating this wonderful thing called karate. So part of my obligation to pay them back is to do my part, is to say, well, is there any part of this we can improve upon? And I think we're in a good position to improve on it today. Sports science has never been better. We know of training methods that are more effective than training methods in the past. We've got good kit now. The old masters didn't have focus mitts, for example. So we don't have traditional karate focus mitts drills. And I've been criticised for someone who uses focus mitts a lot. But the reason I use them is because they're a great piece of kit. The old masters would have used them if they had access to them. We've got protective equipment and training methods. And through the internet and the global community now, we're not a handful of 100 martial artists stuck on an island. We're part of a global community where information can spread across the world in seconds. And we should be taking advantage of that. We should be looking at what other styles are doing and see if we can bring that into what we do. That's again, it was traditionally that's how it was done. We don't serve karate if we're not prepared to criticise it. What we do there is we kill it. Karate did not reach perfection in the 1940s. The old masters never said it did. So if we can look at it and go, we can make this a little bit better, but armed with the modern knowledge that we've got today, then we should do that. And what we should also do is we should debate these changes. We're in a great position to do that too. So if you disagree with me and that you think kata without bunkai is a good thing, let's have that debate. You know what I mean? You put your articles out and your YouTube videos. You say why that's a good way to stop a punch, or that's a good way to stop a punch, or why Gidambra is a good way to block a kick, and why the historical information we have is invalid. You make that case. Make the counter case. And then people can look at my argument, and if you disagree with me, your argument, and they can decide which one makes most sense. Okay, which was most sense to them, because good ideas will attract a good following. The only thing that's got criticism, the only thing that fears criticism are things that are untrue. If you have a strong, valid position and it's critiqued, it'll come away from it better for that, because they'll go, yeah, you're definitely right on this. We've looked at it, we've questioned it, it's definitely right. Just like science, it tests things. And we need to do the same with our karate. We need to have the debates around things. We need to put various arguments forwards, but we don't serve it by going, no, we refuse to question it. And who are you? How dare you question it? Because that's one I got this week. Who are you to question the old masters? Well, someone who's spent his entire life pretty much doing karate. I'm someone who understands fully what the old masters wanted us to do. I'm someone who's looked at the history, and I'm someone who thinks it can be improved upon. Because I love karate, not because I hate it, not because I'm trying to do it down. If you refuse to criticise it, if you make the old masters to the point of infallible, you're killing karate off right there. And it's something the old masters wouldn't support you in either. So that would be the takeaway point from this video. We need to be prepared to criticise what we do. No martial art is perfect. None of them are. And the most healthy martial arts are the ones who have growth built into the process. You know what I mean? It's just like, the boxing of today isn't the boxing of 10 years ago. The judo of today isn't the judo of 10 years ago. The MMA of today isn't the MMA of 10 years ago. Those systems are prepared to critique themselves, and if something's demonstrably better, then they take it, they run with it. And the traditional martial arts need to do the same thing, because that's what your martial arts needs. And the irony is that is traditional. The traditional approach has been one of constant questioning and constant change, not slavishly following the dictates of the past masters. The past masters that you may be slavishly following, they didn't do what you do. They wouldn't support you in what you do. We need to be able to look at things objectively and critique them and try and make what we do better. Okay? The future generation needs us to do that, and the past generation would want us to do that.